Hello, I'm Tim Beggins, president of Elk Trading Company. In this, the top news for natural gas. Number one, Qatar has halted maritime operations due to a GPS technical issue. So we'll see how long this lasts, but it is halting LNG exports. Number two, the Cove Point LNG maintenance is expected to end as soon as this weekend. Number three, Investigate 95L has a 70% chance of development. That's in the mid-Atlantic. We'll keep a careful eye on it, but it is not expected to impact the eastern coast of the United States. And number four, the above normal temperatures are expected to last all the way through the end of this month in the US. Let's turn to the spot November natural gas contract here on barchart.com. We're currently trading at 337.20, up 4.8 cents or 1.44%. This is off the news overnight about Qatar halting the LNG exports. Actually, it was a day or two ago, and that has put more pressure on U.S. LNG exports. So therefore, prices were up. We also have Cove Point LNG coming online sometime potentially this weekend. So adding 700,000 of MMBTUs of new demand. And let's take a look here. As you can see, we have gotten as high as 348.5, but right now we're currently testing that lower exponential moving average, which is the 13-day exponential moving average at 331.30. So let's take a look. The RSI is trying to turn back to the positive. As you can see, we're currently pushing between these two exponential moving averages. Let's see if we have any further upside for now. And let's turn to the hourly chart. These are the pivots. As you can see, we could not get to the second pivot resistance here, which comes in at 350.5. So right now we are currently sitting right here at that pivot resistance, which came in at 341.40, and the pivot for today is 336.10. So we're pushing back down toward the pivot, and the RSI has turned down on the hourly chart. So let's see if we hold here at 336.10 and start to push back out. And let's take a look at those front to back spreads. Here's this DEES 26 versus DEES 25. And currently right now we're up 1.1 cents to 65.2 cents or 1.72%. And as you can see here, using the 13 and 48 period moving averages, we are still holding above that right now. We did have a test of it just 2 days ago, and therefore it did not continue on the downside. So we're pushing back to the upside, and that is because the front of the board is starting to slip here. The news on Qatar is expected to be short-lived. It's a technical issue with the GPS system. But that did pop the JKM versus TTF spread, favoring here right now. As you can see, we're up to 22.5 cents on that spread. This is the JKM for November as versus the TTF for November. That's the marker for Europe. As you can see here, that did pop, and therefore we're holding right now in slightly positive territory. The 8 to 14-day temperature outlook for the United States, warm, other than the far west here, which might be below normal in the interior. Everything else is expected to be normal to above normal, at least through the 19th of October. And let's take a look at the tropical activity. We do have Tropical Storm 95L. We're keeping a careful eye on. It has a 70% chance of development in the next 7 days. It is pushing out here, as you can see, near the Leeward Islands, and it is expected to stay off the coast of the United States. Here's the track for this, and as you can see, it is expected just to bend again toward the northeast over the next 7 days and stay well out to sea. But we're going to keep careful both on this area and again toward the Gulf here around the Yucatan Peninsula. And this is expected to be very, very strong potential here as we get into the second and third week of October. The season is starting to decline, but as we do so, the Atlantic is starting to fire up a little bit late. As you can see here, there's some storm activity around the Yucatan Peninsula. This is 95L. And we've got another system here keeping a careful eye on a little further, closer actually to the islands. And here's that Yucatan Peninsula. As you can see, we're bubbling up in thunderstorm activity overnight. So keep a careful eye on this Gulf of America, Gulf of Mexico area. just south of Cuba. And why? Well, the water temperatures, they're well above normal. As you can see, they peak out here at the end of September, first week of October, and we're currently between 81 degrees in the Gulf, all the way south of Cuba, 86 degrees, plenty of fuel here for a nice storm. And here's again the Saharan air layer. It just won't quit this season. It continues to push more dust out into the mid-Atlantic, which will inhibit any further development right now, possibly for any storms behind 95L, which is in front of this plume right now, which is good for its development. And as you can see here, continuing story, the U.S. drought continues. It's not only in the west, now it's starting to extend in parts of the eastern seaboard. As you can see, New England has some extreme drought conditions right now, ranging from Maine all the way into Vermont, parts of West Virginia, and parts of Ohio into Indiana. We've got to keep a careful eye on this. This is extensive and possibly continues through the La Nina conditions we'll see this fall. And let's take a look at our oil and gas E&P sector. These are stocks between $2 and $10 billion and have a high short float, over 10%. And who's the winner this week for the 1 week performance? Civitas, coming out from the behind and racing to the front. But look at CRK. CRK up 8.55%. It's been on a tear this last 2 weeks. So again, recapping here, we are currently trading 336.20, up 3.8 cents or 1.14% for the spot November contract. It is giving up some of those gains overnight. We'll see if this continues. We've got a storage expectations around plus 80 for this upcoming week. So let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.